They would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And that's complete to Trey McKinney, the tight end. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mariota now. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Eckler now between the tackles. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. .43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Texans will take over. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Terry McLaurin on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. On play action, Mariota finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Play action now, Mariota. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
A handoff, it's Eckler. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 52 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Mariota. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a toss, running left, Eckler. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
On 2nd and 12, Mariota. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they are going to have a first down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Back to throw again. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Jaguars who have the lead in the second quarter. The Jaguars trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head south to Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dak Prescott lighting it up. He's got 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Derrick Henry has a touchdown run. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Coach. Thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
From the 27, Mariota. This is swung out to Eckler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action. Mariota. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, Mariota. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
The partner is still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 62 yards on the ground for him so far.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Shoves him aside, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Reynolds And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Seibert's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. It's Eckler again, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Play fake, Mariota. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On second down, Mariota again. And his throw here's incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And they will remain well behind. Throwing to start the drive. Reynolds. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Running the sweep with McLaurin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That second down play nets a -4. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
The Texans send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Mariota to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look. And we will take a short break. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Pierce now up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he forced this throw, nearly intercepted in the end zone, but it's incomplete. Fortunately, no turnover, but it is 4th down. Seibert able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
To throw again on second down. Mariota. Open man is Palmer. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to it after the pick 6. Mariota. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. With this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. The Texans on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Reynolds. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And the Texans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Looking to throw. Reynolds. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll try to run with Pierce. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. To throw on second down. Reynolds. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Hold everything because Darren Waller, the tight end, appears to be injured on that play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Going for it with Pierce. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And even 100 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On second down, here's Pierce. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
From the gun on 3rd down, Reynolds. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's Pierce. Touchdown, Houston. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Possession switching back now to the Chargers. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Mariota. They'll find Everett there, complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. To throw is Mariota. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is, For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one, but they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, it's Mariota. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 23. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11th. The Texans offense set to regain possession. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And some room to roam now. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Houston, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.